you get to watch a bunch of guys that you care about a lot and enjoy the hell out of it, right? So just walk into the room after, it's pure joy in there, and they got a million funny stories, right? I don't know any of them. They got nicknames, they got stuff going on in there, and they just love being around each other. So it's fun to watch guys that work really hard, compete in battle, and by no means was any of this easy. Right? It's a good team we beat, and like I said before, I mean it. It's fun to be associated with them. They're fun. They're fun. They come to the rink, they work their butts off, and we laugh. It's good.
Paul.
10 goals in 5-game series with 2 overtime games.
Well, so we viewed Boston, aside from them being really heavy, as a rush team. They got 4 at the line all the time. So our only chance was to try to handle that. And we didn't all the time. It was just that good. And Toronto's so dynamic. Nylander, he's an unusual player to be able to hang on the puck the way he does to create that open ice. So we got the best possible prep to play Toronto in the Boston series. Like that conditioned us to be able to, and we didn't handle it all the time. They got through the tying goal, and so did Boston. But we were able to just take the edge off it enough that it wasn't the deciding factor in the series.
Thanks, guys. We use the mic. We'll go Sice, followed by Mark, then Ken, and Mark.
Paul, you went from a year ago fishing, having the best 4 fishing days of your life,
It was really good.
to not only going to an Eastern final now, but to use your term, going back to a place that ran you out of town twice. But I know joking about that, but
right.
Just talk about the journey, what it's been like, and now where you're headed to.
I had 4 great days of fishing, like really good. Completely content, and a phone. I was driving back with my wife in my car, and a phone number came up that I didn't know, so I didn't answer it. But it was Bill Zito. And he said, I don't know, there's a lot of little things that kind of led up to me thinking that's interesting. I also knew it would be incredibly hard, right? The adversity to take the job. And Bill said, I just want to know what your interests are. And I said, I'm interested in the Florida Panthers. But even in the interview, I actually didn't come to get the job. He's just a really engaging, smart guy, and I thought that'd be fun to talk some hockey. Can only fish so much. And I was testing that theory. I was fishing a lot. And he's engaging and exciting, and kind of, he's the driver in all this. I think the team that he's built, the way that we did not have, like tonight, doesn't look like anything like our first 8 months, right? We had hard times in there, but his relationship with the players and with the coaches never changed. Always supportive, lots of ideas, fun to be around. Yeah, this is his team.
And going to Carolina now?
Yeah, I mean, that's where all 3 of my kids were born. And it was a big part of our life there. I think I coached all 3 of their coaches. Which makes me old. But I'm looking forward to it.
Paul, Matthew Tkachuk reminded us that you guys just got into the playoffs, but he also said he feels like you guys are built for this moment. In what ways do you think your team is built for the playoffs?
Well, we didn't luck into the playoffs. And we didn't underperform all year and then kind of get hot. We started from scratch almost, built it. And there were some hard times in that. And some of it wasn't even us. I mean, I thought December and January were the most egregious schedules that I've been a part of, except for we hit 30 games in the first 62 days of the season in Winnipeg, which is the fastest any team in the NHL did. So it was a tough stretch. And we were playing hard in December. Barkov had pneumonia, but we were just you couldn't tell. But January was a critical month for us. In the last 2 weeks, we defined our game. This is who we are. Because if you don't, we were going to lose all of those games. You know, it's the little moments. 4.7 seconds left. Barkov ties the game against Boston. We win in overtime, and that was it. We've been a pretty good team since then.
Paul, you beat the best team in the NHL. Now you've beat the fourth best team in the NHL. And your reward for that is now you face the second best team in the NHL.
Well,
And one, as you said, where you have a lot of history. How do you
Right.
how do you look forward to the next series?
well, like the idea. I think we don't have to change anything on the bench during a game. Carolina's a great team, like the best analytics of the world, right? And they are hard to play against. So you will not own the game. You'll scratch and you'll claw and saying, well, we got like 12 of those games under our belt now. We get that, being on the bench and not owning the game. The idea, like, so I felt this from you. We get up 3-0. Well, if you just play your game, you should win the fourth one easily. Just play your game. And then we didn't win, so, what's wrong with your game? Or, wow, they changed a bunch of things, and it was a 2-1 hockey game, right? So we are real comfortable in kind of a hard fight. We'll take a bunch of punches in this Carolina series, for sure. Been pretty good at getting off the mat. Right, we get up swinging. I wear a suit. I didn't throw one hit. Did nothing.
I know you know nothing about goaltending,
Agreed.
but what did you get from Bobrovsky tonight and throughout this series?
Yeah, the series too, but I think the real story with Sergei is the pressure he was under when I put him in the deciding game in Boston. So he'd gotten sick. He came out of the lineup. Alex Line comes in, and he is on fire. And I want to give Sergei credit because we went into Washington toward the end of the year, and Sergei got healthy. He was ready. But Alex was going, so I played Alex. He was a phenomenal pro to Alex. He was good, honestly good to him. And then, you know, the payoff for that is I'm going to throw you into the single toughest game of our year. We're going in, down 3-1 into Boston. Go get him. And he was lights out. So I think about that sometimes, like, as a professional athlete, the amount of pressure that's on him. And some of that's based on his salary, right? All the pressure on him. And to be that good, like, you got a little tiny smile on your face when you leave the ring, wouldn't you think? Showed you. To me, anyway, that's what nice call, Coach.
Paul, nobody thought you guys would be in this spot going into the playoffs. I don't even know if you thought you would. But at what point, if so, what point did it hit you like, okay, we can be this team?
I thought it didn't matter. You either win the Stanley Cup or you don't. So we got a bunch of things that we got to learn to become a hard enough team to at some point win. And we learned a bunch of them. Big part of our learning process was last game. We wanted to win the last game so bad that we tried to do so much more than you need to. We got like 8 slot shots. We had 15, 19, and 20 in games 1, 2, and 3. We had 8 last game. It wasn't the pressure. It wasn't us being casual. Hey, we're up 3-0. Let's just take this one easy. It's you want to do so much more, and you get that result, right? So it's more important that we learn. We want to win the Stanley Cup. But from where we were coming from, we were going to learn almost everything we needed to learn about winning in the Boston series. Physical series, down 3-1, how to stay in the fight, all of those things you learn. And then game 4 here was really important for us. When the pressure starts coming, I'm not talking about letting a 3-0 lead slip. I mean, you want it. You want to win so bad. You got to learn how to play that game. So we learned it. We were better tonight for sure. That's a really, really good team. And our goalie was great. Made some huge saves. Pretty good overtime team. Everybody's happy. Well, at least in Florida.
Paul,
I think
oops.
okay, this is the last one because I think we spent enough time with each other. That's how I feel. I don't know.
Last one. You're one of the few people that can truly appreciate this, having been behind the other bench, and now obviously as a visiting coach. But the pressure, could you feel the pressure ramp up on the Leafs after you get off to an early start in this series? You steal two in their building. I mean, how can you feel it, and can you use that to your advantage?
The pressure on the Leafs started in training camp, not in this series. This is a different beast like no other. So I would say then Montreal, possibly. I've never worked there. What did you tell me? It was like 17 years ago. So I thought it was bad then, and I don't mean bad it's intense. So I do follow Toronto quite a bit. They're in our division, right? They have an interesting style of play. Some really good stuff that they do. We try to steal. But coaching here, I'll just say it. I think Sheldon Keefe is a phenomenal coach. We all have windows. We all have our time. He's coached in this league for 20 years if he wants to. That's how I feel.
I have one last one. Final one.
All right, this sort of falls on what Zai was talking about, but I mean, 17 years ago today, you were named head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. What might that Paul Maurice be interested or surprised to know about the man sitting before us right now, given the journey and everything you've been on?
You got to find a way to love the game, right? Like, that's not right. I've always loved the game, except for a little bit of time there. You got to find a way to enjoy the game. But that's easy because I'm 56 and I started when I was 28, and my kids are grown and they're out of the house, right? So all the pressures that you have on yourself as a young man at 28, they're gone. If I get kicked out tomorrow, I'm going fishing. I'm going to watch all the games. Might bump one of you guys off a panel somewhere, if I get bored. I didn't mean it was easy to do your job. It's not. I don't think it is. But I do have a completely different perspective. But that's all driven by that room. They're fun. It's fun to come to the rink. Even when we're losing, they're still fun guys. Make you young.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks.